Welcome to www.happynumbers.org. Today's lesson, solving algebraic equations, combining like terms, terms that are similar to each other, things that are the same. Let's take a look here. 5x that is a term. 2x is another term. So this expression has two terms in it, 5x and 2x, and these two terms are the same. They have x's in it. So 5x plus 2x is really 7x. We can combine them. Like if you had 4 apples and 3 apples, you'd have 7 apples. Well, here we have 5x and 2x. This is a term, this is a term. Both of them are like terms, so we can combine them. Here I have 7y minus 3y. Well, this is a term, 7y, 3y is a term, and they're similar because they have y's in them, so we can combine these. 7y minus 3y would give me 4y. Here I have 3 terms. I have 8 times w, I have 1w, we don't have to write the 1, and I have minus 2 times w. Well, the 3 terms are alike because they all have w's in them, so we can combine them. Well, 8w plus 1w would give me 9w, and 9w take away 2w would give me 7w. So, in an algebraic equation, if I have like terms, I can combine them, and we'll take a look at that in a second, but I just want to point this out. If I had 5x plus 5y, I cannot combine these two terms because this term has an x in it and this term has a y in it, so they're not like. So this would be like trying to put apples and oranges together. They're not the same, so I can't do anything with it. Let's take a look at one example of an equation here. Let's take this. 2x plus 3x equals 25. Well, here on this side of the equation I have 2 terms and they're similar, they're like, so I can combine them. So 2x plus 3x would give me 5x equals 25, and now we just have a typical equation that we're used to solving. We have to isolate x, the variable, the unknown x. The relationship here happens to be multiplication, so we can divide by 5 and divide by 5. This cancels out and we get x equals 25 divided by 5, which is 5. Now if I go back to the original equation and if I substitute 5 for x, I have 2 times 5, that's 2 times 5, plus 3 times 5, that would be 3 times, equals 25. Well, 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 times 5 is 15, equals 25. 10 and 15 is 25, and so 25, 25, so our answer 5 is correct. Take a look at another problem. This is a fairly simple concept. Let's take a look at this one. 4x minus x plus 2 equals 17. Well, first off, we say, okay, well, I have 2 terms here, and these 2 terms are similar. They're alike. So I can combine these. Well, 4x minus 1x, this is really 1x. 4x minus 1x is 3x. Plus 2 equals 17. Now, our approach is exactly the same. We have to isolate the unknown or the variable. We have to get the x on this side, and we have to get the numbers on this side. Well, I have a positive 2 here that I have to deal with first. And I know I can use the inverse or opposite, so I can put a negative 2, and then I'll have to do the same thing on this side. And so I get 3x, and if I combine a positive 2 and a negative 2, it goes away. So I have 3x equals 17 minus 2, which is 15. Now I want to get rid of my 3, and I know that this relationship is multiplication. So if I divide by 3, and then of course I have to divide that side by 3, it goes away and I get x equals 15 divided by 3, which would be 5. X equals 5 is our answer. Let's go back to our initial equation and put it in. 4 times x, so that would be 4 times 5 minus x, which would be 5, plus 2 equals 17. Well, let's see if it does. 4 times 5 is 20, minus 5 plus 2 equals 17. Well, 20 minus 5 is 15, plus 2 equals 17. 17 equals 17. So our solution, x equals 5, is correct. So there were several steps in this problem. We had to combine our like terms first, then we had to use the inverse operation to get rid of our 2, then we had to use the inverse operation here. This is multiplication, we divided by 3, and then solve it. Let's take a look at a problem for you. Let's give you this one. Through 13x minus 8x equals 17 plus 8. Well, we have two like terms here. We have 13x and we have 8x. We can combine these. 13x minus 8x will give me 5x. Now here I have two terms also. Even though they're numbers, they're similar because they're both numbers. So I can combine these. 17 plus 8 is 25. Now I have to solve for my unknown, for the variable. This is multiplication, so I use division. Use division. Goes away. X equals 25 divided by 5, which is 5. Well, good. Let me put a problem up for you all to work. You should be getting quite familiar with the fractions now and equations. Let's put 9w minus w minus 5 equals 11. Put your DVD on pause or hold, work the problem, and then turn it back on again and we'll take a look at it. All right, let's see here. I have two like terms, 9w and 1w, so I can combine them. 9w minus 1w gives me 8w, minus 5 equals 11. Well, now I want to get the w all by itself, but I have to deal with this negative 5 first, so I can use the inverse, or the opposite. Whoops, my bad. Positive 5, positive 5. I get 8w. If I combine a negative 5 and a positive 5, that goes away, and I get 11 plus 5 is 16. This is multiplication here, so I'll divide by 8 and divide by 8. Cancels out, and w equals 16 divided by 8, which is 2. So we solved that problem, and our answer is 2. We said w equals 2. Let's go back to our original equation and see if that works out. We're going to substitute our answer, 2, for w. 9 times w, which is 2, minus w, which is 2, minus 5 equals 11. Well, let's see. 9 times 2 is 18, minus 2 minus 5 equals 11. Well, 18 minus 2 is 16. Whoops, there's our time. Just let me finish this. 18 minus 2 is 16. 16 minus 5 is 11. So 11 equals 11. So our answer is correct. Well, good. Well, that's solving algebraic equations that have like terms in it. Remember, if this is one term and this is a term, they both have W's in it, then we can combine them or put them together. Excellent. See you next time. Thank you.